the central planners may not like this. Maybe they can all go to the beach. But the reality is that at some point, and I think that this is the power of this Rickards interview that we just did the other day, it really starting to resonate with the people, because you can't keep telling the people to buy a 1,500 square foot apartment in New York for $3 million and say that there's no inflation. So again, I digress. Darius, maybe it's a good time to take some questions.
Actually, a perfect time to take questions. So the question here is on inflation, actually. It says, how can the stock market be this far above prior peaks if the cost of living isn't? And what is the disconnect, and is inflation being miscalculated?
Well, on the inflation side, you know that it's definitely, I mean, only on Wall Street would somebody tell you that a price going up is not inflationary. So that's just take the stock market at the all-time high as a reference point in terms of common sense. But if you look at more thoughtful, I think, measures of cost of living or inflation, the MIT Billion Prices Project right now just doubled in terms of how its read-through is on inflation. So if you look at the most recent MIT number, they're saying that inflation, and again, I think this is a very low number relative to the numbers that we see, is 3.9%. Now, within the GDP data series, the deflator is 1.3%. So there's a gross misstatement between the academic institution that taught the Keynesians and what they're actually saying inflation is now. If you're only to believe 3.9, which is a pretty low number, U.S. GDP in this most recent quarter would have been minus 2%. So again, this is the kind of thing that you hear if you walk out into the real world and talk to people about. Cost of living is going straight up because food and rent, which constitutes well over a third of the cost of living basket for the average American, continues to rise.
Definitely does for me. We'll wrap it up there, folks. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you back here tomorrow, same time. Have a great day out there.